We are live. Hello, everybody. Hello.
Hello.
A journey with all of my women and that I got to interview. This is Christina Fletcher with me today.
Hello, everyone. This is lovely to be on
live and do a little a live stream, share some more information. So before we got on here, we were talking about people who overspill their energy and cross those energetic boundaries. So we figured we would give some instruction. I'm going to turn it over to Christina to do that. Give some instruction about how to prepare prior to. Right? When you remember.
Absolutely.
I have those tools, and if I don't remember, then it's kind of pointless.
I know and the thing is that right now we are in kind of an energetic swirling time. There's a lot of energy. We're also headed into Lionsgate, so even energetically from the kind of cosmic scale, there is this sense of fiery energy. There's a lot of people stepping into their power, but sometimes people step into their power. If you're not stepping into if you're not feeling ready to receive other people's power, it can feel a little bit like knocking over.
Just knock you over.
Yeah, it totally can. Absolutely. It's always interesting to kind of have some framework in these perceptions. There's a great illustration of how energy works from Neil Donald Walsh in the Conversations with God series, where they talk. Oh, so good, right? And they talk about there's the idea of yourself and who you are, and there's other people and who they are. But when you talk about energetic bodies, or when you talk about auras, or you talk about your highest self or your spiritual self or your soul, there is the idea that is actually outside of you. So there's this great part in that book, which always comes to mind when we talk about energetic boundaries, where, Neil Donald Walsh kind of writes to God, but like, well, where, if my energy and my spirit is outside of me and is my energetic field, and flows outside of me, and then you have someone else and their energetic field is outside of them, how do we know where those end and another one begins? And I think God's very lippy response is basically, yeah, exactly.
I think I own all of those books. They're just amazing.
They're so good. And so, that it's really important to remember that, energy bumps up against each other all the time. Sometimes it can hook in. Sometimes things like cord clearing is needed afterwards. But there are a couple of things that you can do to feel a little bit more prepared. I am not, as we talked about in the interview, I'm not really big on like massive shielding or talking about big protection, because you don't want to, where attention goes, energy flows. So if you think you need protection and you're setting up protection, you are creating the energy of a holding off.
Right.
Rather, it's important for me to put the attention on flow. So I find that before going into any conversation, it's a question of making sure that you're grounded, focusing on your feet, kicking off your shoes. I never have my shoes on during any calls. I don't know about you, but I never have.
I don't either.
No. So you kick your shoes off, you make sure that you are feeling really grounded, you take a few deep breaths. And it's really important to just remember that energy flows from above you and flows down through you and down into the ground. So if you actually enable that flow, that energetic flow of grounding, it's going to carry with it anything that it picks up along the way. So if you think of it like a current on a stream, you receive, a few leaves or a few debris or a few sticks, and just like the game poo sticks, over the bridge, they will flow and be carried off with the flow. So it's really important to just ask how you are feeling in your flow. So if you want to call, and I mean, we all do this sometimes, right? Like it's like you said, it's like if we remember, because we all will have those moments of being like, you know what I didn't do?
Why am I feeling so? Fill in the blank.
Exactly. It's like, let me just sum this up in a sentence. Guess what I forgot to do? But it is a question of plugging into whatever spiritual source you identify with, and just opening up to receiving that flow and allowing that flow to flow through you, knowing that it's going to carry off anything that you pick up along the way. And then when you get off the call, you take a few deep breaths and you make sure that you refocus on your feet. Imagine all of anything you've picked up flowing down into the earth, and holding the other person in a sense of kind of like a bubble of love, and you in a bubble of love. Yeah, I'm actually going to add another little thing too, because
please do.
Interestingly enough, okay, so one of the things you asked, what am I kind of working on right now? And I was kind of like, okay, am I ready to talk about this? So I guess I actually kind of am. I'm actually working on energy. I'm doing a lot of focusing on energy alignment right now, and energy alignment though in the 4 worlds of yourself. So you have, you can talk about your energetic body and finding alignment in yourself from your spiritual sense of who you are. And that's what we're talking about when we're talking about energetic flow flowing through you. But there's also like mental alignment, and there's emotional alignment, and there's physical alignment. So you want to kind of actually, before getting on a call or before going out grocery shopping or basically functioning as a human, you basically want to check in with yourself on how you're feeling in the various parts of yourself. So it's like, am I feeling safe in my body right now? You can do all the energetic work you want, and be trying to plug into the universe before jumping on a call. But if you're not feeling grounded and safe in your body when you're going on that call, if you're feeling like anxious, if you're feeling like you're all like, I've got all this stuff, and all of this there, then the flow is not going to flow.
Absolutely.
So you want to check in if you feel safe. You also want to check in to how your heart's feeling. Are you feeling angry at the person? Are you feeling frustrated at the person? Are you taking on anything beforehand? Are you telling anything that, is going to stir up emotions for you with that person? And you first clear that up. Then mentally, you align the interaction. So it can be like, what's my intention for this call? What's my intention for this? Oh, I'm getting on this call with this person. Okay. Say, even if it's a friend that you haven't spoken to for years and years and years, and you're getting on the call, you could be like, okay, what's my intention of meeting with this person? And it's like, well, to reconnect, check in with them. And you kind of give yourself permission to have this open intention of reconnecting with them, knowing that you have permission that if it starts to pull at you, you can actually say, oh, look at that, I've got to go. And you protect yourself. So awareness to where you are and what your story is and how you walk into a situation is really important. And then, of course, then the clearing and checking in again with all those things after the call is also really important. Yeah, there you go. That was a lot. You tell I'm excited about this.
Perfect. As you were speaking, I was reflecting on when I was told I could choose. If my phone rings and I'm not in the space to talk to that person, either I can choose to answer and say, hold on a moment, and do all those things that you just said so that I'm in that space, or call that person back. Yeah. And that was really empowering to stand in a space of, oh, I have a choice. I'm not just a victim of whenever they call me. Oh, wow. So that was huge for me.
It's massive. Phones are really interesting energetic lines that go into your house. My gosh. And now we carry them, right? Like now we carry them everywhere. So people can always access. And I don't know how you were raised, but like, I know, like my mom, the phone was the phone. Who knew who it could be? It could be an emergency.
Right. Yes.
So the long cord, right? We all were raised with the clothesline cord, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. And honestly, like that, like to this day, if I'm talking to my mom on the phone and she gets another line, like we're across the ocean. Like I'm in the UK, she's in Canada. Like it doesn't matter. Like, I'm very thankful that we don't have extortionate phone bills anymore. Like that we have cheaper deals. Right? Because it doesn't matter. It's like, if someone else clicks that other line, it's like, hold on, I've just got to answer this. And it's like, okay. Gotta go.
Yeah, all right. Yes, I remember those.
It's emergency, right? And that's just how things were. But it is interesting how you go, that is a direct link into my emotional stability and my mental stability and the flow of my day. And yeah, I do have a right to actually look at it and go, they'll leave a message or they'll text me.
Yes.
I'm very thankful for the fact that even with messages, you can kind of scroll at the top and you can see what the message is at the beginning without actually reading it. So people don't know.
Absolutely. The energy of the message. People go, you don't feel those. I'm like, I absolutely feel the energy of a text.
100%.
Because we're empathic. We're highly sensitive. Of course we feel it. And then you're judging me or you're this, or I didn't mean that. Well, that's exactly what I picked up. So maybe in your consciousness, that person didn't mean that.
Yeah.
We're reading all levels of it.
And even if you just pick up, like, I'll sometimes pick a text up and I'll be like, I am truly not ready to deal with this.
Yes.
Like, I'm not ready. And that's okay. I think there's a big permission card in it, right? Like, there's a really, really big permission card that says you have to be able to give yourself permission to not be ready. And it's okay to not be ready. You're allowed to not be ready. You're allowed to take the space to go, am I going to show up in this conversation as my best self and go, not really, no. Give me my cup of tea first. Give me my alignment first. Then we'll go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. So. And those preparations, they're instantaneous.
Oh, they really are.
Practice them enough. You just don't really have to think about them. No. You just painlessly decide. And the biggest part for me was the intention.
Yep. 100%.
For a call.
Yep. And really going, because it's just a question of awareness, isn't it? It's just really a question. And you're right. Like, I can break down the 4 worlds of yourself, but really it is a question of checking in and going, it's so fast to just literally check in on, how are you feeling? Okay, actually.
Am I in balance or am I out of balance? If I'm out of balance, where am I out of balance?
And it's like, I'm actually feeling really scattered right now. Okay, so what do you need to do in order to feel grounded? That's it. Or what Daniel Laporte would say. It's like, how do I feel? How do I want to feel? What small things can I do to feel the way I want to feel?
Small things? I love that question. What small things?
What small things?
Feel the way I want to.
Because we love to make things big deals and then we don't.
Oh my gosh. Yes, we do. Of course we do.
No, I'm all about the small things. About the small and easy things.
Small, simple steps.
Yeah.
They are the most effective in that ripple effect in our life.
100%. And I mean, because really, in the long run, you're a person, you're a human being, but you're also a spiritual being. You're an energetic being. This is all natural to who you are. It's just that we're made to forget. So it's just simple steps. It doesn't need to be a big deal. It's like a nudge rather than a shove.
Yes.
It's a nudge back into alignment.
We get to learn how to listen.
Yep. Absolutely.
And trust that nudge.
Yep.
I used to say, okay, creator, a 2x4 would be really good right now. So it's very clear to me.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be this big.
Yep. But it's interesting because the nudges are there because when you don't listen to them and you do have that conversation that you had the other day and you felt kind of drained out on the phone and you go, well, because of that, you got new knowledge. So it's also okay to have off moments. It's okay to forget to align. It's okay. Like it's funny because over the last couple of months or a couple months ago, rather, I actually found myself going through some transitional things. And all of a sudden I went, I don't feel like aligning. I don't feel like it. It was a couple of days. I just went, I don't know if I feel like it. I actually feel like I'm not ready to make that decision yet, that I want to do all of these tools. And I watched myself and I observed myself and I kept myself away from any sharp objects or or any, people or anything. I kind of just buried there with my Kindle and whatever. And I thought, it's okay. It's okay to occasionally say, I'm just pausing. And then you can make the proper decision to actually say, no, now I'm ready. I'm ready to, yeah.
I love that. I love that. Give yourself that permission to not do it when you don't feel like it. Because sometimes it's just about riding the waves of whatever that is.
It is. It is. And I think that too often self-development becomes a guilt-ridden thing, that it's like, well, you should be doing this and you should be doing that. And you have to make sure that, I know we have this huge list of tools that you can pull out to feel better. Do them all. And you go, oh, I haven't journaled so long. And maybe journaling's not your thing. I spoke to a woman the other day and she's like, I know I should journal, but I really don't like journaling. And I was like, then please don't journal. I was like, just let it go. Let it go. Do a voice note if you want. You can just record it.
Right. Absolutely. There's all kinds of ways to do it different. And I've heard that before. I've read that before. I've been through that of shaming myself or guilting myself because I have the tools and didn't use them, or I should. There's no shoulds in this world.
There's no shoulds. Yeah, there really isn't. And it's really important to get into that space where curiosity is really, really important to create more flow in this, of actually being like, I don't feel like deciding to align right now. What's that? Why would I not want to align? And then you ask yourself those questions, and all of a sudden you start hearing the answers, right? It's like, actually, you just need to rest. And it's like, okay.
Right. Just get quiet with yourself. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So it's that steady flow. It's fun stuff.
I love it. I love that. The steady flow.
Yes. Steady flow.
That's good. Yeah. That's where we started. The steady flow, getting in the flow, aligning all those pieces.
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely.
And it's not just the phone. So let's add that, because it's not just the phone. It's in any relationship.
Oh, absolutely.
You're going to go to lunch with someone, or you're going to go meet with someone, or you run into someone, that moment of a breath.
Yeah. Well, and it's interesting too, because we talk about, not answering the text, or we talk about taking care of yourself before walking out of the house. But if you live with people, then there's also that aspect too of those boundaries, right? Because we actually tend to ditch the boundaries when with the people that we live with. And it's really important to actually establish, for my family, there's always kind of been this general thing of, when you need time away, that's okay. You have time away. So be it going into a shower, or using your morning shower as a way to ground and make sure that you're taking care of yourself, or, a meditation, or whatever you need to do to create your space so that you have those moments, and it's okay if you don't, even things like my family's big on family dinners and things. But if someone doesn't feel up to doing that, then that's okay. You can have that flow, because everyone's energetic. You have to have respect for everyone's energetic space.
That's fairly new conversation, I would say, in the world today. So I appreciate that. I appreciate you being here, saying yes, showing up, doing this live to share just more in depth of some of the tools that Christina talked about in her interview, which was a couple days ago.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
Stay tuned for more, though. And big surprise at the end. And later today, I'm going to do a drawing, so someone will win a prize. So that's super exciting.
This is a very active experience. This is most impressive. You were all very lucky.
Yeah, I've got a whole lot of engagement in the group. It's growing, and so I did some prizes. We've done these lives. We've just had a lot of fun.
That's
showing up here.
Fantastic.
Really Yeah.
Well, I'm going to, I don't know. I thought that I had joined the group, but I'm not sure if I have. So I'll make sure that I come in, and that way that if anyone has any questions or want to connect, by all means, feel free to tag me.
Absolutely.
And
do that for sure.
100%. Absolutely. Definitely. I am a big conversationalist. I love connecting with people. I love, learning people's stories. I love just having simple chats. People are always welcome to just book a free chat with me, just to kind of connect and, see how things flow from there. I'm always available. So
love that. Thank you for sharing that and inviting everyone to reach out. So they'll come in the group. They can also private message you, I'm sure.
100%. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I have my own group called the Spiritually Aware Living Community. So feel free to connect over there as well.
Yeah, absolutely. When you get into the group, you can put your link below the video.
Okay. Brilliant.
Awesome.
All right. Fantastic. Thank you so much. Great conversation. It's been lovely to talk with you again. Right.
Yes, we will be talking more for sure.
Okay. Great. Take care, everybody. Love and light. Bye.